Yeah, so in my courses, and I'll talk about my introductory course that I do, courses rather in religion. I talk about those scholars who kind of represent for me kind of the classical modern approach to the study of myth, and so the figures that really stand out are people who have really impacted Western thought. Sigmund Freud is one person whose entire, legacy has been shaped by myth and the like, Greek mythology and all that. His theories of egoism and pleasure principle and all of that, shaped by how we um, myth and the like. Then there's also his protege, Carl Jung. Carl Jung, someone who went beyond Freud in terms of thinking about how myth helps us to understand our conscious life and how we think, when we're not awake and our deepest longings. And for Jung, who went further than Freud, it involved him really getting, digging into religion in ways in which Freud and others had not. And then there's the other person who I introduce my students to, who built on both Jung and Freud, and that's Joseph Campbell, the famous popular mythologist and the like. And so people like that who thought about myth in very broad terms in the 20th century, folks who were impacted by late 19th century and whose work really became influential in the first part of the 20th century. I find them still instructive for how we think about this thing called myth.